drove a bully to the brink of insanity and pushed him over the edge. As a kid, I got bullied a lot. Bullies have various weak points that if you can exploit them, can really screw them up. Of course, in this instance, they can also screw you up. But I was depressed at age 13, so I kind of hoped he'd kill me. We'll call him Kyle. Kyle was probably mentally unbalanced. He was a skinny kid who wore half sleeves, had pinhole pupils, and messed up hair. We had a big ox, a guy who didn't mind beating up kids but wasn't self-motivated, so he usually did so at the bequest of others. Kyle got ox to wail on me a few times, or he held me down while Kyle or one of Kyle's toadies wailed on me. I got some pretty bad beatings, and as I was neglected at home, nobody gave a damn. I just learned to heal, avoid them, or hide until they went home. One day, it occurred to me during a beating that Kyle never got me alone. I pointed this out to him. He told me he'd kill me. I said he didn't have the brains or strength to do it alone. Ox would do it or whatever, because he was weak. Kyle got this look in his eye that let me know I hit my mark. For the next few encounters, I'd say, "I see you're with Ox. Does Ox know you won't fight me alone?" Kyle acted like he didn't care at first, but I could tell it got to him. Kept telling me to shut up, and you're dead if I ever get you alone, punk. Even Ox started to lose his spirit, only half beating me with this confused look on his face. You always do what Kyle asks you to do? You ever thought about beating him up? Ox didn't have answers for that. Soon, Ox stopped hanging around Kyle, and every time I saw Kyle, I'd say, "Alone, Kyle. Alone." And he got madder and madder. It was unhinging him. He started to look like he was going to literally kill me. But he was all talk, and I grew confident. Soon, just mouthing, "Alone," to him got him riled up. I'd also give him long stares at lunchtime, until he would start screaming at me, and when people looked back at me, I was looking out the window as a nonchalant motherfucker. At some point, he had been calling me gay and other homophobic slurs. I finally asked him what that meant, and he didn't have a decent answer. I told him what it meant and said he liked having intercourse up the butt, and other rather unfair stereotypes about the gay community. Oh, this escalated his rage. I mean, he went from unhinged to hanging by a thread. He started getting a tick in his eye and started pulling at his own arm hair in an OCD reaction. One day, in science class, he was giving me some lip service because he had a supportive buddy with him. At some point, he started throwing paper wads at me. I looked back at him, mouthed, "Alone," and blew him a silent kiss that ended with a seductive lip lick. He snapped. He didn't just snap, he turned into some wild animal and launched himself at me, screaming some kind of incoherent shrieking like a kid being crushed in a combine. He managed to get within a foot of me, scrambling over desks and throwing everything aside like an enraged baboon before the teacher grabbed him. He stared screeching and clawing at the teacher's face. Luckily the teacher was very tall and had better leverage. "It's okay, Kyle. It's okay, let's just go outside in the hallway so you can calm down," the teacher said, and had to carry Kyle away like a giant flapping fish. The door closed. We heard more screaming, banging against lockers, and the teacher calling for help. We heard more voices. Some of them were saying, "Oh my God. Oh my God." A teacher came in, pale, and told us all to stay in our seats. She closed the door and witnessed the spectacle from the skinny door window. Once in a while, more incoherent shrieking. Minutes later, 2 cop cars and an ambulance drove up. All of us kids looked out the window and saw some people cart Kyle away strapped down tightly to a gurney. He was now crying and wailing, like the tail end of a complete nervous breakdown. He was screaming, "I'm gonna end you. Oh my God, I will end you," but seemed to be shouting at no one in particular. He had screamed so much, he had become hoarse by this point, and it was really alarming. No one ever brought it up to me because everyone remembered Kyle attacked a teacher. I never got asked about it as I was pretty anonymous at the time, and anyone who didn't know the backstory would have thought I was no more a victim than the other kids tossed aside as Kyle made his way toward me. Never saw Kyle again. Rumor was he was taken to a mental hospital and stayed there for quite some time. No idea what really happened to him, but after that, I realized how badly I had messed him up and I still feel a lot of remorse.